Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I just created my first all-swipe canvas using spatulas, one of which is this. These are Princeton Catalyst spatulas. I did also use pipe cleaner, but it was all just swipes. It was a black canvas, and it makes me, first of all, it makes me wonder what I did with my glasses. Oh no, not again. Not cool. There they are. Cool. Oh, excellent. I like it when that happens. Anyway, so the nice thing about the black canvas is that you wind up with a background that you don't have to do anything to. But I suspect that I can do something. I'm still in a sort of a radical mood, and I'm going to use my spatulas to spread my paint around in a sort of a fun, sweeping, random pattern. I have some other ideas about what I can create this way. I'm not going to share them yet because I think they're kind of exciting to me and I want to get it right before I do it. I also have chain and other things if I decide I need to do that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to try a different spatula than I did last time. This was the one I used last time, and it may work better than anything just because it's so nice and slim. But I've been enjoying very much the fact that I can use the pink and the purple together, and as long as they're on white, I can get something that might stay bright when I work with it. So I'm being a little more radical than I was last time. Whoops, I don't want to waste that paint. By just going everywhere, and I'm kind of thinking it's not that hot of a day here today, which is good, which means I can sort of let the paint be a little thinner than it has been other times and spread it around some. See what happens. I don't know if there's as much pouring about this as some of the other ways of doing the fluid acrylics, and I'm not seeing very many cells this time, but that's okay because I have plenty of white paint and plenty of will to find out what's going to happen. I like the bright colors, and I am kind of mixing them together. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long it'll take to do this kind of thing. That is my Prussian blue with a Deco Art pouring medium in it, which almost always sells. And the whole point to doing this for me was to be able to pick my own colors. There we go, there's some nice cells in there. I don't know what kind of, or if there will be any negative space, because I kind of want to be able to cover the canvas. And I may have to come back in with a different kind of spatula to cover things. I'm using my fingers again on the edges. And I'm just going to keep spreading. I don't know why I put the top back on that at all. I don't mind that there's a little bit of paint on my spatula at all. I'm hoping I can just fly by the seat of my pants and get the colors I want. It wouldn't be good if there was a bunch of Prussian blue on there. I would have definitely wanted to clean that off. But this is a rare pleasure because I get to pick my colors and where they wind up as I go along. For the fun of it. Just willy-nilly, sort of. Not willy-vanilly. No, willy-nilly. I know I'm being silly. Oh God, I'm still rhyming. Never mind. Okay, that's going to make me nervous there. I'm going to want to wipe my spatula off and use a different one. I think different spatulas will obviously make different marks. I just wiped out a whole bunch of real pretty cells. Oh well. I'm just going to lead this stuff all over the place. Yeah, I'm having a good time, so I recommend this. It doesn't seem very complicated. I think it's the same as everything else. You know, I have a lifetime of creating art, so some of it comes as second nature to me. Especially composition was something my parents told me I had a natural ability to deal with, to create. Trying to talk and work, always interesting. Alright, so what I have been doing is creating a sort of a bed, a little pathway for whatever I want to swipe. I'm kind of imagining I may fill in between, but I'm not sure. Not sure what's going to happen, because this is only my second try at this. And I did use pipe cleaners, and that reminds me I have some pipe cleaners. I have a pipe cleaner's dish of paint standing by. This is just so much fun. Just to use the colors I want to, where I want to use them. And watch them sell up. And it's kind of a little risky to leave the paint on my spatula as I go, but it's also teaching me as I go what's going to work and what isn't. I've got some much brighter orange that I want. And we'll see. I bet he did. It must be puppy dinner time. Oh, and good morning to everybody, by the way. It looks like it's getting very close to time to clean my spatula off. But the squeeze bottle and the spatula method is a pretty cool method. Alright, so what do I have? I'm not sure about that. They will also move paint off your canvas, but I don't know what I'm going to replace it with. How about I just put that down there? Put some more white down. This time I'm going to wipe it off. Spread my white around in my negative space. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go back to combining my pink and my purple. Kind of liking what I got and thinking if I go too much further I'm not going to like it as much as what I've got. That was the Prussian blue again. But then I could play with this for a while. I could also bring chains into it. I'm just trying to use the paint on my spatula because I know it's nice colors. I can waggle my spatula through things and change up the patterns. What do I like? I like this and that together, and I'm going to try it right now. Plus I've got white, which doesn't sound like a bad idea right now. And I want some more of that. And if you get a big lot of paint on, of course, what that means is you can tip it if you want. Okay, so I've got something over here I'm not so sure about. But that might be the deciding factor, putting that orange in there. Although I want some other stuff. I kind of want to get rid of that mess in there. I have a round spatula that's perfect for that. So we just filled in that space. And I'm going to fill in a couple more spaces. let the paint go over the side. I've got all kinds on my spatula. That's pretty good. I'm filled in almost everywhere that I need to be. And I love how that white looks. Just sort of creating a highlighted area. See you, bug, or whatever you are. So it makes me wonder about how Depression Blue will be over here, especially if I allow a little white off my there. That's fun. I'm having fun. I don't know if it's perfect composition or not, but I'm having fun. And I like to just play fast and loose with paint. What can I say? The only problem I have is watching. I hate watching some of the nice stuff go away. And I've been paint pouring so long, just working with accidental results lately, that I'm not used to being able to figure out that I can have what I want when I want it, which is a novel concept, to say the least. I may have gone past my comfort zone. Might make me want to play with some black, put some of this stuff out of the way, or just fill in my negative spots with a spatula right there. More or less clean. What else have I got? That's okay over here. Alright, I'm going to clean off my spatula and I'm going to get really bold. Am I? Am I really? Oh, I don't know if I am or not. Yeah, I am. Not sure it's a good thing yet, but I am. Alright, I'm going to take this paint. It has some other things in it, i.e. the black, and put it someplace else I want it. I also want my other little tool back, which I really like. Yeah, that's not bothering me. I'm working with what I got. It's like I may not have started accidentally, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to end that way. I'm just allowing paint to get filled in. Ooh, here's a color I didn't use yet. And I like that in there. I haven't used enough green, I gotta say. I know that for a fact. Maybe I did use some of that color in there, I'm just noticing. A little bit of a Space Cadet. It's okay. I'm a little overworked. I know it's hard to tell that now. Alright, I haven't used any of this really pretty minty green that is a color shift. And I want to see what that's going to do. Yes, I used my finger, and no, I should not have. All experiments. Hard to tell how things are going to work out when you're actually choosing them. I don't have to accept anything, but I'm also not necessarily ready for whatever's coming my way either. It's a whole new concept. I could dip some chain in there. I kind of like a lot of what's going on right now, finally. I like the fact that I added that green. We got 3 minutes left. So look for my Instagram link if you want to know what I'm painting the same day I make it. Often I will post at least one of those on that day in the evening, late. So check the next morning, I guess, is probably better advice. At the same place, underneath the description, underneath my video, is also the Pinterest board link and 2 volumes of Facebook albums that will take you to the wet and dry artworks from YouTube. Look, fingers work. I know, I'm so irreverent. I'm sorry. I'm sure that's a bad influence on someone. I'm sure I got what I deserved too. This is my spatula was a bit smudgy. I'm just going to take a second and make an attempt, a vague attempt to fill in and call this as good as it's going to be pretty quick here. Although I really did want to take some chain to things. I guess I could fill in some of my missing spot after, and I don't think I'm going to chain it. I'm liking the little cells that I'm seeing in there. There's no silicone in this mix. The cells are strictly from the Floetrol, and when they're in the navy blue area, that's the Prussian blue, and that's prone to selling. That's got decor pouring medium in it, and Floetrol. And Gac 800 keeps my paint, when it's thick, from cracking. So I always use color with 10 or 20% Gac 800 in it, and then I add in double the Floetrol. The recipe for that is in the description under the video. It might be a little unintelligible in places, especially when I first started out. I didn't phrase it very well, so I'm sorry about that. I want to say thank you to all my contributors and my 30,000 plus, 32,000 as of today, probably more soon, subscribers. And I appreciate all the comments very much. And if you want different supplies that I like myself, then the Amazon link is a good place to look for it, and that's right under the video. I like that orange right there. I want to see more of it right there. Yes, I do. And I like that the spatula will lead paint places. I'm not sure I wanted to do that exactly, but this is a fun piece, and it's very abstract expressionist because all of it was mostly on purpose, with the exception of the few little cells here and there that are making things even more interesting, which has always been my plan, is to learn how to bend this to my will so that I could have what I wanted at the same time. I wonder what, oh yeah, I'm not in a good position every time I want to add a tool to the canvas to work with it. I see that. That just doesn't look quite right, that one line. And I could do all kinds of stuff to this. I don't see any spots that I missed, particularly. Maybe a few here and there, but I have my glasses on, so it should be pretty good. Let's figure we got a minute left. And I'm going to torch, and torching will release both the air bubbles in the paint that you don't want to form overnight while your painting is sitting, and it will also release more cells, especially early on, not as much at this late part of this painting, I find anyway. So twofold, one to remove the air bubbles, one to allow patterns to form. That's the timer telling me that you're going to be gone in a minute, so I'm going to say this is Priscilla Batzel, torching in Expressionist Art Studio's backyard in Spring Hill, Florida, with a few edges to touch up, but otherwise, my experiment using only spatulas and squeeze bottles, I consider a success and was a lot of fun, and I think I'll probably get better at it as time goes on. Can't accomplish anything without some practice. It just doesn't happen. There might be some total geniuses out there, and I'm happy for you. I don't know that I'm one of them, but any way you look at it, I'm happy with what I've got, or at least pretty happy with what I've got. Sometimes artists are just never happy with what they've got completely. So that's good enough. That's my second spatula painting, and like I said, I'm going to be touching up my edges. And I'm glad you could join me. Thank you very much for the comments. And thanks again to all my contributors for keeping me going. Really appreciate it. Really, really, really is helping me out a lot. I'll see you in the next video.